Hi, I'm Danielle, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about whatever it is I feel like. And today we have another episode of We Have Makeup at Home, and we are spotlighting the Cosmic Brushes The Sun Palette. So they have been doing this tarot series for a couple of years now, I believe. They had the Lovers palette that released around Valentine's Day. Last year they had the Death Tarot palette, and then on July 31st, they launched the Sun Tarot palette. It's supposed to be representing joy, positivity, and abundance. This card inspired a color story of vibrancy, warmth, and light. And of course, we couldn't create a sun theme palette without offering the shades to create sunset looks. So it has a lot of orangey reds, some pinks, a couple of deeper purples. The palette contains 8 metallics and 12 mattes, and 5 of those metallics are multi and duochromes. And the palette is $45 US. All right. It's such a pretty palette, and you can really see the sun inspiration in it, and you immediately think of a sunset, which is kind of why I did a look like this with the stuff that I found. So let's get into what I have. As you all know, when I do We Have Makeup at Home, I try to keep the color story curated. So this is a 20 pan palette, so none of these go over 20 this time. I will say it was a little bit more difficult for me to find something that had the deeper purple tones, but for the most part, I found 3 sunset kind of inspired palettes. And they were all pretty small this time because, again, I was just basically going off the sunset color story essentially. So the first palette is covered in powder, and it's the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. This is one of her middies. I don't know if she still sells this one anymore. I know at Sephora, she tends to have like her neutral palettes out, like the I Need a Warm, the Artistry one. She also has I Need a Nude, I want to say as well. But the Sunset, this was years ago, a while ago. I am so sorry. I don't know why this palette sounds like a creaky door, but here we go. It has a nice sunset color story or sunrise color story. It doesn't get nearly as dark as the Cosmic Beauty palette, but it definitely has those kind of like orangey tones, a couple of pinks, not as much purple, and because this is a more mainstream palette, it definitely leans a little bit more neutral, as you can see from this corner here. But again, these 9 shades, at least over here, really do that kind of yellowy, orangey pink from the Sun palette. Not as purple, but still. Really nice, solid effort in the color story. You could use this as Foley art for a scary movie. Why is this so creaky? The next palette is a 9 pan. I'm telling you, I had a couple of like smaller palettes this time. None of this little, and then you have to cover up this bit again. Like, I had smaller palettes this time. This is the Tropicana palette from Glam Shop. This is a Polish indie brand. I don't know if this one still exists either, but it's gorgeous. It has so many flaky glitters, so I'm going to be very careful. This might also be why I have so much glitter on me right now. Surprised that didn't just like go in my head. But look at this. It definitely has a bit of a darker purple. This is a shimmer though. And these are really like special flaky kind of shimmers as well, which I think is similar to the Cosmic Brushes one. And then it has a yellow, a peach, and then a pink. This pink doesn't go as vibrant and bright as the Sun palette, but again, you can really see that sunset vibe with this one. And the purple is definitely closer to some of the purples that are in the Sun palette. It's really pretty. I was really happy with this palette. So much glitter everywhere. Oh, it's so pretty though. Let me top up my glitter with this glitter. Why not? Why not? Stunning. This last palette is a small palette. It is a 5 pan. It is perhaps the smallest palette that I felt has encapsulated a larger color story, but that is this palette from Playing in Makeup by Yolando, it's their basic, the hashtag basic palette. And as you can see, these mattes are perfect. Like, this encapsulates pretty much all of the mattes inside the Sun palette. And I think when it comes to duping the vibes in your collection and shopping your own stash, you use multiple palettes. You know what I mean? Like, you'll find one color from one palette that you think is perfect with a color story and a look that you want to do, and then you go grab a shimmer from somewhere else, and then you get something else from another palette. And I think this is perfect because it just pairs down that really pretty sunset color story to 5 shades. Again, the 5 mattes. I used all 5 of those mattes on my look today. And then you just add a shimmer. Hello? That's so perfect. Do you know what I mean? This palette I'm pretty sure is discontinued though. But Playing in Makeup by Yolando is one of my favorite brands. It's that brand that has that concealer in the purple compact that just, she always puts it on her arm or covers a tattoo with it, and it looks so full coverage and amazing. But yeah, I'm in her brand for the eyeshadows. I love her eyeshadows. And I have a bunch of these little 5 pans, and this one was absolutely perfect. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That is everything that I have. So we are going to go watch me create this look inspired by the Sun palette. And we're going to watch me progressively get covered in glitter. That's also fun too. I wish I could tell you why my brows are so dark today, but you know, some questions are just not really meant to have an answer. Okay, so for this look, I think I just want to do like a sunset eye, because that's kind of the first thing I thought of when I saw that palette anyway. I want to use the yellow, orange on the inner corner, and then it gets to like the red pink, and then purple kind of like almost on the lash line into the bottom. That is my idea for the mattes at least. And then I'll just add a fun sparkle from something that I have, because sparkle is life. I love a glittery, sparkly moment on the eyes. My eyes are prepped. I'm going to start out with this palette. I'm basically going to get all of my mattes from this palette. I'm going to use this yellow shade in the front and kind of just start in the inner corner and just kind of pack it on. Okay, that looks pretty. I'm now going to just wipe off this brush and use the orange shade here on the lid. Ooh. I already really like how this is turning out. It is quite stunning. Okay, so that's the first 2 colors down. I'm going to go into the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. I want this shade Carnelian to just kind of like help blend these two together a little bit more. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Just needed to bridge that gap a little bit. Now I'm going back into my first palette and using this red shade on the outer half of the lid. I don't know why I started on that side first. I never start on that eye first. What was that about? Okay, we just plopped that red down. And now we're going to go into the pink shade here to blend everything out. The outer corner. That's so pretty. I'm going to add a little bit more red in the crease. I'm not going to go so far on the lower lash line just because I want to do purple there, and it makes no sense to build up a color that I'm not focusing on down there. Just so the pink gets a little darker. All right, that's pretty perfect. Now I'm just going to take a small angled brush and this purple shade and just kind of add it right here. I'm not trying to actually make a wing. I'm just trying to start introducing the purple so that when I put it on the lower lash line, it doesn't come out of nowhere. I don't want it to be a wing. I just want it to be kind of like a little defining here. Ooh, yes. Just like that. Just like that. I always feel like I don't breathe when I do anything with my lash line, so. All right. Tropicana palette. I don't know which of these I want to use. Let's see. Not the purple, no, but hmm. I think it's obvious I'm going with the top one, but these are all very pretty shadows. We're actually going to add this one first because it's a little bit more like foiled, like metallic almost, while this one's a lot chunkier. We're going to add this first, and then we're going to add the chunky glitter on top. Just kind of in the front-ish portion, and a little bit where the red and the orange meet. Like so. Oh, that's so pretty. There we go. We added shimmer without really like losing all the colors we used, which is great. Like I said, this one I gasped, so we have to use this one. Yeah, this is definitely a lot more flaky. So I'm going to kind of keep this one in the center, I think. Oh, this is actually a lot lighter. I feel like it should go in the front, but we already did it here, so oh well. Oh, that is stunning. Okay, now that the sparkle's down, we need to make sure that everything, you could still see the main mats. So I'm just going to go back into this little palette and punch up the red on the outer bit and then the purple on the lash line. All right. I'm happy with where we are now. And as always, this is where I leave you. I'm going to put on a lash and then do my base makeup. And I'll meet you back to do the lower lash line. We're back. We're matte. Get used to it. I'm just going to add some purple to my waterline. I feel like doing this first because I just feel like doing this first. Sometimes that's how it happens. To do that, I used the color case from Made by Mitchell. This is the more pastel one. I don't know what it's actually called, but I used this purple shade. Now I'm going back into my little 5-pan and grabbing this purple to just run all along the lower lash line. Don't know why I closed that. I for sure need it open. Let's go. Oh, it looks so pretty. I'm telling you, doing the lower lash line really brings everything together. Because before, I feel like I just had like blobs of color on my face, and now we can see the sunset. Oh, it looks stunning. It's so pretty. Oh, that's gorgeous. I'm going to blend this out a little bit with Natasha Denona, this Glory shade right here. This isn't purple, but I feel as though it's kind of in the middle of these two colors. So I feel like that'll make everything look, you know, blended. Yep. Yeah. Oh, that's so pretty. Also, I'm so sorry this is like, why is this a squeaky door? Okay, what do I want to do on my inner corner? Maybe I'll do one of these two shades, like this peachy shade or hibiscus. I think I'm going to do this hibiscus, or maybe I'll do this yellow. I think I'll do this yellow. It has a little bit of shimmer in it, so I think it'll look poppy enough on the inner corner. Let's try it, see what happens. Okay, that's pretty perfect. So I'm going to do the final touches, add some more blush, add a lip, and then we'll talk about the palette and the look that we did. All right, so this is the final look inspired by the Sun palette from Cosmic Brushes. I really enjoy how it turned out. I love the sunset eye situation. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I put a little glitter on my face, and then the glitter, of course, had a mind of its own, went rogue, and now it's on my body as well. So that's going to be fun for the next lifetime I have, just always with glitter on me. But yeah, you can really see it there. Oh, it's gorgeous. But yeah, my final verdict on this palette. See, I thought I had my answer, and I thought my answer was going to be a soft yes, and that I kind of just wanted to wait for a sale for it. But after doing this look, I'm leaning a little more towards a no. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm kind of on a soft yes, leaning a little bit more towards no. But that's the point of this. You really want to make sure that you're being responsible with your purchases. You want to make sure that you're properly playing with what you have at home and not just getting caught up in the idea of buying something, which I do sometimes. I'm not going to lie. I do get caught up in the idea of just like, oh, I want to purchase something. And I'm trying my best to not do that as much. Because I mean, purchasing things is still pretty fun. So I digress. That's pretty much it. If you have any other palette suggestions that you want me to try to dupe the vibes of or see shop my stash for, please let me know. I love doing this and kind of flexing my creativity in that way and finding unexpected dupes. I know the comment section kind of was blown by the Dead Roses 2 looking so much like Magnetic Mineralia in a couple videos ago. So I'm excited to blow some more minds with some other palettes that I find. That's pretty much it. And I will see you next time I have something else to talk about. Bye.